going? Paula here, and this is my kitchen, and this is my channel, The Flavorful Home. And on this week's Flavor of the Day, I'm doing more of a food preservation tips. I think it's timely. Prices just keep going up. Throwing away food, it's just not a good thing. That's why for the last one I made the frittata showing how to use leftover vegetables in your fridge. So buying in bulk when you can and preserving it as best as you can is a good idea right now, because I don't see prices coming down anytime soon. And if you could get that meat on sale, you could get those veggies on sale, do it. I'm going to show you a really quick one right now. I was at Sam's today, and by the way, I bought pretty much the same amount I do when I go to Sam's, and I spent over $700. I didn't buy a crazy amount of meats. Back at the holidays, about the same amount was costing me just over 500 and change to $600, and now I was well over 700. Anyway, this is the big pack of celery. Wrap in a couple of sheets of foil tightly. Get your celery, wrap it up once, and then wrap it up again. I promise you this will last weeks. I don't use celery on a regular basis. Sometimes my husband will be in the mood to do blue cheese dressing and carrots and celery, but especially because it's the summer, I don't go through it that often. But it pays to buy it in bulk and then do this. I want to say I had one, and I think I did it in one of my stories. The celery, and I kid you not, was 2.5, maybe 3 months old, and I snapped it on the camera just to show that it was still crispy. So if you buy celery, even if you just buy a head of celery and not in bulk, wrap it in foil. And then I'm going to flip you around and show you some of the other things I do to preserve and try to save money in my kitchen and my home. Alrighty, let's go. Okay, so this is my Foodsaver vacuum sealer. My husband bought it for me, and I love it. I use it for everything. I use it not just for meats and veggies. I use it for beans. I use it for grains. I use it for liquids. If I have sauce or I open a big number 10 can of tomatoes up, I put it in a square or a rectangular container, put it in the freezer, and then once it's frozen, I pop it in a Foodsaver bag and date it and keep it for a future use. These Foodsaver bags came with the whole, because my husband bought the whole kit, I guess you could say. And I bought these shelled walnuts at Sam's, 3 pounds. Don't ask me how much. I want to say maybe $14. I can't remember because my memory is terrible. I don't remember much of anything. Once it happens, it's almost out of my head. But I said, you know what? Before the holidays come, let me get some of the nuts that I bake with quite often, and I'll just put them in the bag I should have labeled it first, but I'm just gonna put walnuts, and I'll put today's date, and it's easy peasy. It's gonna be loud, so. The red light is telling me that it's sealing now. And a quick tip, just like everything else in this world, sometimes you'll have a faulty bag, and after it seals, it'll fill with air. You have no choice but to chuck it and start again. I guess, you know, nothing's perfect, so that'll happen sometimes. That's a short one. Okay, remember, you want a little bit of a gap. Now it's sealing. And these come in all different models, so you're going to get different price points. Well worth it. You might even be able to find these on Mercari or OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, because a lot of people buy them and then never use them. Alrighty, so I'll finish up the pecans and then we're going to move on to the meat. Okay, after I did it, I saw that all it was filming was the Foodsaver and not my meat, but these are the chuck roasts I bought, and they were $4.98 a pound, I think it was. I'll tell you in a second. $4.98 a pound, and I got 2 of them. It was for $17.38. I did wind up spending $716. All right, Yogi, I can hear you. Just wait. He's tapping on his water to say, come on, mother, give me my drink. So since it was not in frame, I'm going to just do the next ones so that you could see. And because I wash my meat always, even before I had the Foodsaver, I would always wash my meats. I don't know, just me. I felt it was just something that should be done. And then I take my dish towel, not my dish towel, my paper towel. Alexa, stop. And pat the meat down, but I write what it is and the date. I also got London broils, and on London broil, I like to make bruzzeltinis with it, but I'm also going to do, because my husband said we haven't had shish kebab in a while, so I'm gonna do shish kebab. And yes, I'm a lefty. I'm a lefty, my hubby's a lefty, and baby number 4 and baby number 5 are lefties. So, his brother is a lefty, his brother's wife is a lefty, but none of their children are lefties. My uncle was left-handed, my mother's brother, and we're the only 2. Okay, so now you're gonna get to see. And you can see it's going to go up, but I have it on moist. Let's see, I'm going to turn you a little. You see the blood comes to there. And the red light is going. And sealed. So now I have my London broil. and my 2 chucks. I'm gonna finish these up and come back when they're done. Okay, so now I have my pork chops, and they also, like I said, washed. And my pork chops I do in groupings. This one is 3. I'll do it in groups of 3, 2, and then I might do a single, just because sometimes there's an odd number of us. So I like to have a couple of singles on hand in case there's only 3 of us. And all I have is 2s and a single. Or if there's 4 of us, I grab my 3 and a single. So it's nice to have a little bit of variety. And these are nice chops. Where did I put it? I have the price here somewhere. I think it was $1 and change. Yes, these are bone-in center cut, $2.98 a pound. Pork is always cheaper than beef, always. And I make a French onion soup pork chop that is so delicious. You brown up the pork chop nice. This one's gonna be a double. I'll do 2 in there. And you caramelize, just like you do French onion soup, you caramelize your onions, and then you top the chop with the caramelized onion, and it has a mushroom gravy that is to die for, and you put some Swiss or Gruyere and melt it in the oven. Serve it with mashed potatoes, and your kids will hug and kiss you. Hubby will hug and kiss you too. Alrighty, so I'm gonna finish up the pork chops and come back in a minute. Okay, next up is my chop meat, or as non-New Yorkers or maybe East Coasters, I don't know, say a ground beef. Now, I usually do 2 different sizes. I'll do a small chunk, and I'll show you now. This is my chili size. This is what I do when I'm making chili. I'm gonna put a little more. And this is for when we're having chili. And hopefully you guys are seeing this good, because I've noticed it's not catching it so well. I think you got it good. Maybe a little. So that would be chili size. I also make my patties. I'll do about 6 patties, freeze them first, then seal them. So I'm not going to do patties today because I want to just get this meat wrapped up and put into the freezer. And I have a chest freezer that I bought from Sam's Club in, I want to say May or June, like that, of 20. Again, when things went sideways, I said, not happening again. Again, this is a small one. And I like to get it to the bottom of the bag. And then I will do like a meatloaf size, so that if I make meatloaf, just pull it out, or a meatball size so that I could have for meatballs. Alrighty, I'm gonna finish this up and come back when it's done. Alrighty, so we have our London broil, our beef chuck, the pork chops, and the chop meat. And I am putting, I'll show you how much it is. This I'm just gonna wrap in plastic, and tomorrow I'll make patties and freeze them and then put them in the Foodsaver bags. This chop meat was $2.98 a pound. That's a good deal. It was $88.12. So, to be honest, I'd like to get a little more fat content, only because for hamburgers, it's just so good. But, folks, this is the way to go to preserve the integrity of your meat. It stays nice and red because all the air is sucked out, and it lasts for, they say, a year, but you could probably go a little further than that. But this is a nice amount that I will pop in my chest freezer, and we will have for many good meals. Okay, I'm gonna flip you around, so hold on. Okay, you'll probably hear my air fryer in the background. Just a quick word. Prepping has gotten such a bad rap. It's almost taboo to say it. And I want to tell you, there is nothing bad or embarrassing or shameful in prepping. Being prepared is an honorable thing to do for your family. And a gal I follow, a homesteader, says it perfectly. Prepared, not scared. And that's the smart thing to do. With everything going willy-nilly, with gas prices going through the roof, food prices constantly rising, getting items in bulk and storing them in Mylar bags, in Foodsaver bags, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I bought the nuts now. Why spend $18 or $20 when the holidays come, because they know, oh, you got to do your baking, if you can spend $10 and $12 now? It is just it's being a good financial steward of your income by doing this. So take advantage of those sales, do some homework, do some research, look up the hashtag prepared, not scared. You'll find so many awesome tips. Invest in a vacuum sealer, whatever one it is, and enjoy the peace of mind having these items in your pantry, in your freezer, brings to you. Alrighty, this might have been a little bit longer, I'm not sure, but I hope you enjoyed this flavor of the day. I'm sweaty because my oven's on, I'm baking bread, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Go create something wonderful. Bye-bye now.